shave, and my electric barber shears that I just trimmed down. You know, I haven't shaved like in 7 years. I just, without the blade guard on, I just put it down the lowest and go like that. They're on the blink. And then I've got to go out and get razors and learn how to shave again. And then I got to get me an electric razor to maintain it. Oh, I hate that. I never can find electric barber shears at the Goodwill or Salvation Army. Anyway, I saw something in the paper about some kind of butterfly that's pretty well going extinct because of the cessation of the prairie grasses. And it got me thinking about when I was a kid back in the 60s and early 70s. We lived close to the interstate out there, I-57, and there's a Veterans Hospital out there, and the Veterans Hospital ground was our playground. And boy, during August and September, would there be a big migration of monarch butterflies, but no more. So I'm guessing that that's because of the lack of wildflowers and prairie grass too. I don't know. Anyway, I got a little prairie grass out back. I'll film a little bit of it. It would be really high, but I had mowed it in May. Then I got lazy and quit mowing, and the city guy who's supposed to maintain that, because it's a city lot back there, he quit mowing, and they got a little bit of prairie grass back there. And it's different than lawn grass that you just let get all nasty and tall. This is a variety of prairie grass. Okay, as promised, this is some prairie grass right here. There's no telling how high this would be, but I did mow it in early May. This is a vacant lot back behind my mom's that the city owns. It's part of the flood control project. They took it over when they had all their machinery back here, and I'll show you that in a minute. There's a big ditch back there that leads to Crab Orchard Lake. But there was a lot of this around back in even in the late 1800s, I'd say. And it's because of the lack of this ecological component that there's less butterflies. Because butterflies like to get in this stuff when there's wildflowers down inside of it. And this is totally different. This is regular weed grass out here. But somehow some prairie grass got here, and I kept noticing it every time I mowed that, boy, that stuff gets high right there. So I decided to let it go just so I could put some prairie grass on YouTube. Yep. Prairie grass used to be all over, and butterflies would migrate according to it and the wildflowers that were down inside of it and stuff. But times have changed, and the prairie grasses are pretty well out of fashion. Now this thing here, this is not a prairie grass. You can buy starts of this at landscape nurseries. It's some kind of a grass, but it's a ornamental type thing for the lawn. A landscaper guy I worked for, some people didn't want this stuff anymore, and we dug it up, and it's like little sweet potatoes, little bulbs that it grows out of, whereas that prairie grass, it's a regular root system thing. This one here, it's actually the last few years gotten pretty big, and that tells me this old tree right here is really sick. So this thing is probably it's getting more groundwater. It is locked in by 2 driveways here, so that's kept it somewhat under control, because otherwise it's a tuber. It will just keep on putting out those little bulbs. They're like potatoes, sweet potatoes or whatever. That's one variety of, I don't really know what this is called, but it's not a prairie grass. Okay, here's a bigger variety of that ornamental lawn grass plant. Just the same as the other one though. This is not a prairie grass. And this one's actually gotten out of hand. I'm going to have to chop it back this fall and get down on the ground and get it down to where I've only got like a little 6 to 8 inch circle of those like sweet potato type little bulbs down in there. That's all it needs. It'll come back next year, it'll be fine. This one is just went wildfire and way too much growth on it. You can see it's all splayed out. You'd think we had a gully washer rain and it did this, but no, we haven't had any big rains here in a while. We've pretty much had a drought. And there's another one. It's held its shape a little better, but that's another one of these landscape grasses, but not a prairie grass. Yeah, there's a contrasting image there. Satellite TV dish juxtaposed with prairie grass. Yes, sirree. This one, it's went to seed. Oh man, if I sent that to one of you and you planted it, oh, would you have some grass? You'd have trouble keeping it mowed too. This stuff is like prehistoric, and if you tried to get rid of it with Roundup, it would probably develop a immunity to it. Yes, sirree, there's the prairie grass. Got no idea how it all of a sudden up and came here. It could have been a little bit of the seeds out of a bird's droppings, and boom, and it just takes off. They say you can develop, one of these stalks can develop an 8-foot root system, and the roots bore themselves way down on the ground. And that's why on the old-time high plains, when there were prairie fires and burned this stuff off after it got dry in the fall, well, it comes right back. That charcoal from the prairie fire, good fertilizer, and the root system is so far down in the ground, and it would just come back. It's one of your hardiest plants, and the reason the butterfly populations are going way down. And because of that, and also the honeybees, something's wrong with the honeybees. Farmers are having to pay for technology to keep pollinating honeybees on their farm and train them. They're like hybrid bees, but train them to stay around and pollinate the plants. Well, there you go. I can take a sickle to this now and a weed eater and get it down to size and mow it. I've done my prairie grass video. Anybody wants some seeds, I'll keep some seeds. Okay. Well, look at that Toulouse, he just come out of that damn prairie grass. I'll have to be careful when I get after this stuff. There might be rabbit nests in there. Toulouse, what were you doing in there? You could get bit by a snake, boy. Oh, I almost forgot. Yeah, this is the big flood control ditch back behind where I live. I moved here in January of 72 or 73. It's just a little old scrawny ditch back here, and we had floods and floods, and it never got in Mom's basement. And then we had what they called a 1500-year flood event in, I think it was May 20th of 2008, and this big old ditch here filled all the way up. This was all water over here. Over there where you see it going up to a hill, it was cresting right there. And course, it went all in that backyard over there. That house sits low, and it flooded that house over there. Its basement just was all the way full, ruined the furnace and everything. And this was a $17 million project back in 1996. They had big track hose in here. And as you can see, the city hasn't maintained it. There's trees way down there. There's 25-foot trees growing in this flood control ditch. And I've wrote letters to the editor, and you know, Miss Monica will get a kick out of that. And I've been told to shut up about the city not maintaining its flood control ditch. Okay, see you YouTubers later.